What's good, YouTube? Multi-Apples here, bringing you another video, and today we will be playing some MX versus ATV All Out. So let's go ahead and get it started. I hope everyone is doing well today. I should be doing some commentary for this video. This is 2:22 p.m. So I don't know how long I will be recording my videos for, but I do want to at least talk during some of my video and at least make one. Alright, let's go ahead and continue. Alright, I have to yawn. Sorry, I had to yawn. I just got a sandwich. Well, I got a sandwich about an hour or two ago from Panera Bread, and I ate it. I got a drink as well. I drank it, and then I woke up, and well, I went to try to fall asleep, but I don't think I could. But I don't think I did. But anyway, I came back, and I came back to my game room, and I actually had the chips that go with the sandwich, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Let's do a series event. What can we do? Pro off-road. Alright, we're gonna do this. Give me a moment to yawn. Sorry about yawning, y'all. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and move into my little chair. If I feel like I'm getting too repetitive, I'm gonna turn on game volume and let y'all listen to that instead of having to hear me be repetitive with my terrible commentary. So yeah, sorry about that. I've been enjoying MX versus ATV All Out, and I've been enjoying Madden NFL 19. So yeah, so I don't remember which week we are on in Madden NFL 19, but we are close to the playoffs though. Of course, I'm playing as Devin Wade, you know, the main quarterback from Longshot for the Houston Texans. Now, he went to high school at Mathis High School, and you know it's located in Mathis, Texas. And Mathis is a real city. It's in, obviously, just mentioned it's in Texas, which is in the United States of America. For those of you that don't know. So that's pretty cool that they based it in the game in a real city. If Madden does long shot next year, I wonder if they're gonna stick with Devin Wade and Coke Cruz, or if they're gonna introduce new characters. Personally, I like the fact. Personally, what I would have done is I'm glad they introduced after the first match. Well, the first match I would have given you the option to um continue Devin Wade's career, but I like the fact that they kind of made a sequel to it. Remember, Longshot came out in Madden NFL 18, which I have uploaded the entire Let's Play for that on my channel. If I can remember, I will link it in the comments section. In Madden NFL 19, I played Longshot, so I'm kind of glad we got to see how Colt became a head coach. Sucks that Hank passed away though. But in the spoiler alert by the way. So yeah, I'm glad we got to see Colt become head coach of Mathis High School, and I'm glad that Mathis High School was saved, as well as the fact that we are turning right now, and I'm glad that we can play as Devin Wade in his NFL career. Personally, I liked Long Shot. Well, technically, the second one is Long Shot Homecoming, but I still like it. I call it Long Shot. I was in the process of my second backflip. MX versus ATV All Out is definitely a good game as well. Well, we're gonna complete the ones on the left side first. I'm also glad we're playing on an MX, so that way we can actually, as opposed to the UTVs, because I felt the UTVs were kind of hard to control. They tended to drift a little bit, but I still enjoyed playing UTVs. Okay, I'm gonna have to answer this phone call. It turns out they had the wrong number. So yeah, I had to private my. I had to not private. I had to mute my mic because I didn't want. Um, I don't feel comfortable having my phone call conversations on YouTube unless. Well, I mean, I do in the sense of like. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't like having my cell phone conversations on YouTube because I don't really have the other person's permission to put it on YouTube where I'm talking to. So, and not even if I did have permission, I still wouldn't put it on YouTube. I'll never put somebody's phone go on permit on phone. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of recording phone calls. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, what we're definitely gonna try and. I think my main thing for MX versus ATV All Out, the main thing I'm gonna do is complete the complete. Sorry, I'm starting to stutter. I actually want to complete all the series that they have, and I want to actually. Um, I also want to get all the sprockets eventually. There are like 100 sprockets in Free Ride, so my main goal is to get those after I have completed the series events. Yeah, so far so good as we are in first place. I don't know why, but this kind of is these kind of like big hill rock things kind of remind me of Ayers Rock in Australia. I've been to Australia. I mentioned that in numerous videos, but I've never been to Ayers Rock. I have been to Sydney, Australia, and Brisbane, Australia. I've been inside the Sydney Opera House for a couple minutes, but that's about it in terms of historic places I've been to in Australia. I would love to go back to Australia, actually. I think in my last Jeopardy video, I mentioned I've been to Sweden, so I've been to Stockholm, Sweden, and I would love to go back. I like to go back to all the places I've been. I know in Sweden, I actually went. Um, there's a term. I actually went to the King and Queen's Palace. Like you can visit there and take tours there. My family, I went with my family, and we actually walked outside the palace. And we passed a couple of embassies of some Latin American countries. Um, there's also psychological term. I think it has to do with psychology, but it's called Stockholm syndrome. It's where like, let me make sure I actually get Stockholm syndrome correct before I butcher it. Anyway, it's a psychological phenomenon that causes hostages to develop a psychological alliance with their captors as a survival strategy during captivity. These feelings, the feelings in Stockholm syndrome result from the bond formed between the captor and captives during their intimate time together, are generally considered irrational in the light of the danger or risk endured by the victims. And yeah, generally speaking, Stockholm syndrome consists out of consists of strong emotional ties that develop between two persons, where one person intermittently harasses, beats, and threatens, abuses, or intimidates the other. So it was. So I'll link the Wikipedia article. I just looked that up on Wikipedia. Because I've heard of Stockholm Syndrome, but I couldn't remember exactly what it was. So I will link that um, article in the comment section. I put it right off of Wikipedia from where I was talking. Because, you know, if I look something up, it's important to cite your sources. So, yeah, it was a bank robbery, and I was taking a tour with my mom, and it's one of the, it's like the red light bus, I think is what it's called. I'm not sure the official name of the tour, but they take us to like historic points in Stockholm, and one of them was outside the bank, where the Stockholm syndrome was first described in 1973. There's also Lima syndrome, or I think it's Lima syndrome. Let me look it up real quick. I'll link to Lima syndrome. Um. Okay, I'm not sure, but I think it's Lima syndrome. I'll definitely look it up and link that as well in the comment section as well. So I got three things to commentate: the Madden NFL 18 Let's Play. I'll link the Madden NFL 19 Long Shot Let's Play as well, and both playlists for those in the comment section, as well as Lima syndrome and Stockholm syndrome. If you wanna watch the two videos and read more about the two psychological phenomenons I mentioned. But anyway, Lima syndrome is the exact opposite of that. It's basically in a layman's term, if I'm using that word correctly, layman, is Stockholm syndrome is where the captives sympathize with the it's the captives sympathize with their captors. No, the people take the hostages sympathize with those that are taking them hostage. And Lima syndrome is where the hostage takers sympathize with the hostages. So it's like the opposite. Can't believe I mispronounced sympathize twice. Yeah, I was scratching my arm, so that's good. I'll definitely link those full things if I can remember. If not, please remind me, and I will. So yeah, if for those of you, if you're like me and you like to travel, I like to travel. And if you're like me in that, what places have you traveled to, and what historical monuments or any historic places have you been to? And feel free to let me know in the comment section because I think that's interesting. There are a whole bunch of places I want to go to, so and see that I haven't had. I went when I was in New York. I went to. I think I mentioned this in previous videos. I went to closer to the time. I mentioned these in previous videos. Closer to the time when I came home. When I went to New York City, I actually went to the 9/11 memorial, and it was really saddening what happened those days that day. So rest in peace to those who passed away. I also went to Madame Tussauds, and I went to Ellis Island, and I went to see the Statue of Liberty on Liberty Island. Island. Yeah, rest in peace to those that died in the 9/11 events and the wars that followed. So no disrespect to them, but we are moving on. So I would like to go back to. I've also been to Times Square. We, of course, whenever I travel, I usually go with my family. So we went to New York. That was my first time visiting New York. So we had to have a stop in Atlanta. Because Little Rock, we don't. Little Rock is not a major airport. It's definitely not an internet. It's more of a national airport. I think it's the only national airport we have. All the others are regional, maybe with the exception of the one in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's national as well, if not regional. All the others are regional. Anyway, um, so yeah, that was pretty cool when I went to New York. I totally can't remember where I was gonna go with that. I know in Arkansas, I've been to some historic places. I've been to Hope, Arkansas, which is the birthplace of Bill Clinton, former governor of Arkansas, as well as former president of the United States. That's cool. And I've been to the Clinton Library as well, which is in Little Rock, Arkansas. So yeah. I've been to several other cities in Arkansas, but that's about it. I mean, the other cities I've been to, like the only time I went on vacation in Arkansas, to another place in Arkansas, is Hot Springs, Arkansas. Oh, I've also been to Eureka Springs, which, if I can remember correctly, Eureka Springs, Arkansas, has the largest diamond quarry in the world. I'm not sure if that's correct, though. Don't quote me on that one. But all the other places I've been to in Little Rock, not Little Rock, I've been to in Arkansas, those are mainly when I was driving through the road trips, including Clinton, Arkansas. Go Barracuda Beach. I've been to Memphis a couple of times. I don't really remember doing anything in Hot Springs because I was really young, maybe about 6 or 7. So I don't remember the vacation. I went to Memphis when I was around 7 years old, and I only have like one memory of the Embassy Suites there. And then I went when I was 14 because, for those of you that don't know, I was born in London, England, which makes me an immigrant to the United States because neither of my parents had citizenship at the time. In 2009, both my parents got citizenship for the U.S. And since I was 14 at the time, because the laws in the U.S. are, if one of your parents gets citizenship and they have a child that's under the age of 18 who is also an immigrant, that child automatically gets citizenship as well. And because I was 14, I got U.S. citizenship as well, which is awesome because I'm a British citizen and I'm a U.S. citizen. So I remember I went to Memphis, which to take the oath and stuff, which is a long drive from Little Rock. It's 2.5 hours. Just what? It's 2.5 hours one way. So we spent a full 5 hours driving on the way there and back. It's pretty cool. The only other place I've been to is place I remember going on that drive besides Memphis is West Memphis, which is home to former WWE champion Sid Udi. I think he's best known as Psycho Sid. Okay, seriously, I really have to stop driving into these rocks. That's already cost me first place. Anyway, I've been to Oklahoma City, which, they had the Oklahoma City bombing memorial. Rest in peace to those that passed away there. Both the 9/11 memorial in New York and the Oklahoma City bombing memorial are both eye-opening experiences, and I would recommend that if you're in Oklahoma City, traveling there, go see the Oklahoma City Memorial. It's really beautiful. It's saddening though that it happened. Same with the 9/11 terrorist attacks. But if you're ever in New York City, go see the 9/11 Memorial. It's beautiful. I feel like they did both the Oklahoma City Memorial and 9/11 Memorial did a fantastic job of honoring the victims, in my opinion. It's depressing though, because you don't want any of those things to happen. I've been to Denver, but the only time I've been to Denver was when I was flying to Hawaii. So I loved Hawaii. I've been to the ranch where several of the previous Jurassic Park films were were filmed at. Obviously, I wasn't there during the time of the filming, but I was there at the ranch the ranch there does offer tours, and like some other movies that were filmed there, besides the Jurassic series, the only one I remember that was being filmed there's 50 First Dates. Maybe Yumi and Dupree. I doubt it's Yumi and Dupree, but it was for sure 50 First Dates if you've ever seen that movie. I've seen 50 First Dates, and it's a great movie. Been to Los Angeles. I've talked about that a couple times in previous videos. Where else have I been? I've been to England. Don't really remember London. The only time I remember going to London, because I immigrated to the US when I was 18 months old. The only other time I've been to London was when I was visiting my sister, because she had graduated college from Oxford University. And, so we had to fly to London, and we had to take a 45-minute drive from London to Oxford, and so that was pretty interesting. I've been to Oxford University, like, not as a student, but like as a visitor, which is Oxford University is one of the oldest universities in the world. For those of you that don't know, it's definitely one of the oldest universities in the English speaking world, or places where they speak English. Not sure what the oldest university is. There's a hill that was very important, and it had to do with William the Conqueror. I know it had to do something with 1080 AD. So I saw something that was, I'm not sure if it was man-made or not, but I saw essentially that place was nearly 1,000 years old. It's like 900. Right, as of this year, it is 938 years old, if my math is correct. And Oxford, which I think was founded in 1066, don't quote me on that. That would be, let's see, hold on, it's 2018, so it's 900 and something years old. Give me a moment to think. This is not a good place to land. It is 962 years old, if my math is correct. I'm terrible at math, so if I'm incorrect on that, please let me know. That's just math off. That's right off the top of my head. So I'm not really, like I said, I mentioned this a ton of times. I'm not good at math. I mean, I can do simple problems like 2 plus 2 and that stuff, which 2 plus 2 equals 4. But when you ask me like solve for x or algebra, especially when it comes to like the higher upper level stuff, I would fail that within a heartbeat. Some of my favorite subjects to learn are obviously mass communication, which I'm majoring in. I love making videos, and someday I want to be like a producer for I want to produce shows for like Disney Channel and for like Disney Nickelodeon, but I also want to produce movies as well. I'm actually gonna fill up this cup I have. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, I want to produce like shows for Disney and Nickelodeon since those are my favorite channels. I also want to produce movies though, but not just Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, because I want to produce like science fiction films and horror films. Mainly science fiction, but okay. Let me see if I can put this top on correctly. I'm not sure if I can. Yes. But I also love I love some sciences that like have to do with life, like plant life. Even though I'm terrible at it, learning when I learn these things, I'm pretty terrible at sciences. I do love learning about like biology. Like I love learning about animals and plants. I love learning about astronomy. That requires a lot of math, and I'm not good at that. But I do love learning about other planets, and there's a science called. I love learning about the oceans as well, and the plant life, animal life, the oceans. Surprisingly, you know, geology. I like geology, which I never thought I'd imagine myself liking, because at first glance, it's just the study of rocks. It's just rocks, but when you actually learn about geology, you learn about more than that. And I find that pretty interesting. I love this subject called astrobiology. I think I just mentioned that. If I did, I do apologize because I have forgot. I love that because I love this astrobiology. For those of you that don't know, is the study of life on other planets. And obviously, at the time of this recording, life on other planets has not been discovered. If it has not been released to the public, but it's definitely not been discovered for sure. Definitely has not been discovered. Um, so yeah, I just would like to learn about that. Other planets, if they're suitable for life. If so, if they do have life there, what would they look? What would the species look like? What would the life look like there? How do they survive there? Are there any intelligent are there any intelligent species besides humans? You know, are we alone in the universe, or Earth the Earth the only planet that has life on it, or are there many others? Now, statistically speaking, there are, if I remember correctly, septillion um, planets around the galaxies in the Milky Way alone. Now that's one septillion, which is one followed by seven. It's either it's either six or seven zeros. I think it's seven sets of zeros. So it'd be like 000, comma 000, and so on for seven total times. It's either in the universe or Milky Way. Now, statistically speaking, that's an estimated amount of planets, if not Earth-like planets. Now, now we've only discovered like maybe 1,000 confirmed planets, but there's estimated that there may be up to 1 septillion. So, if there is 1 septillion planets, say that number is true. Statistically speaking, we are not the only life on. We are not. Statistically speaking, the odds of Earth being the only planet with life on it is next to nothing. So, if that is true, does that beg the question, if life is out there, why haven't they if life is out there, why haven't they contacted us? So, there's a couple theories regarding like that. Obviously, the other one theory is that they haven't had enough time to develop, into intelligent species. Another one being the zoo hypothesis. Say there are intelligent species out there. If there aren't, this is known as, what I'm about to explain is known as the zoo hypothesis. The zoo hypothesis is saying that intelligent life knows we are here, but they are watching us till we until we advance as a race far enough to where they are willing to talk to us, whether that be technological achievements or we just live more peacefully. You know what I mean? Like, if we can we can develop the technology to communicate with them, I should say. There's another one where, if I remember correctly, the Fermi paradox is the one saying that intelligent life is very rare, and the odds of it happening are unlikely. Now, there's also this. I don't think it's described as a theory. If so, please let me know. There is this theory. Well, I saw I think a hybrid librarian video, which is a YouTube channel. Hybrid librarian. Check them out. I'm gonna link them down below in the comment section if I can remember. Okay. Anyway, one theory is that they have discovered Earth, but they don't see humans. Now, if you know anything about space, you know that light is the fastest thing in the universe. And the speed of light, I don't know the correct number, but everything you see everything you see in your entire life, if you aren't blind, I mean, no disrespect to those who are. If you're able to see anything, everything you see takes time to reach you. Certain things that you see in your day-to-day life, like say if you're watching this video, the time it takes for basically the video to reach your eyes is like less than a second. For from this video, for your brain to process it, for your eyes to see it, and your brain to process it. It's almost instant, but nothing. It's almost instant, but nothing is real time. But say if you look, anyway, if you look into space, and if you were to look into space with even the most advanced radios, I'm really struggling with this map. But if you look into space with the most advanced radio or telescopes, at the farthest reaches of space, it's 13 billion years. So if there is life on the other end, they obviously won't see humans. Now humans are about more or less 50,000. Modern humans really didn't appear until 50,000 years ago. So extraterrestrial life would actually have to be within 50,000 light years to actually um know. Would actually have to have telescopes that can see that have to be at least within 50,000 light years to see what's on Earth. Because the time it takes for the sun to reflect off the Earth and everything they see on Earth, the time it takes for them to reach their planet has to be 50,000 years if they want to see human life. Anything before that, anything before humans came around, they don't see humans. So if they're further away, like if they're like 100,000 light years away, they won't see any humans on this planet because humans haven't come around. And this is according to the age of the universe, what scientists say. So, personally, I'm a Christian, so I do think what science says about the universe is true. I do see that, I do think science and religion are compatible. But anyway, I'm not gonna shove my religious beliefs down anyone's throat, so yeah. Feel free to believe whatever you want. That is fine by me. I'm sure there are videos out there that can explain things much better than can ever dream of explaining. Anyway, we're talking about subjects I like to study, so sorry about going off that tangent. Going on a little tangent. What other subjects do I like? If there are any subjects you like to study, feel free to let me know, and what do you like about studying? I love learning about life and planets and space because I think that's interesting. I want to see how other animals live. I love learning about history just because I believe history is important, and I love to learn about how people lived in the past. So yeah. I love to learn languages. I love to learn a language, even though I'm terrible even though I'd be terrible at pronunciation. I love geography as well. I love learning about other countries. Not just history, but I love learning about other countries and their cultures as well. Especially in the past and present. No, not a big fan of English class because that requires a lot of writing. And I'm a terrible writer. So ironically, if I want to go into mass communication and produce my own TV shows, a lot of producers are also writers. But knowing my luck, I like create the story and the concept and produce it, but produce it for like TV shows and I'll direct it, but I wouldn't write. I would have find someone to write the stories for me or write the script for me. I'd be the one. I'd be one creating the scenario and plots, but I wouldn't be the one writing the script, if that makes any sense. I'm a terrible writer, so personally, I wouldn't mind doing anything else besides writing scripts and in terms of making TV shows and movies. Anything but writing the script is fine by me. Although if I was asked to write a script, I would. It's just I really struggle coming up with a script. Is my phone fully charged? It's at 90%. Good enough for me. Just going to put my phone in my bag. I carry my bag around with me. It has my PS Vita, in case I'm ever somewhere and I get bored. And I want to play MLB 15 The Show, which is the only game I have on it. It has my wallet in it, obviously because I like to carry my, if I ever need to pay for anything or provide ID, it's there. It's my iPad, and the only time I really use my iPad are for filming vlogs and watching videos if my phone is dead. Or for some reason I can't watch them on my laptop as well. Now, my laptop I use to watch videos, make videos, and whenever I'm out and about, I usually use my laptop. I mainly just keep it around with me, but I do whenever I'm in school or doing homework and I'm not at home. I will always use my laptop for homework whenever I can. Unless I have to study for something, then I'll actually just make note cards for it and study off the note cards. My phone is to mainly look at YouTube videos and contact from my family if I'm ever in an emergency. Or just talk to my friends. Or if I'm going to meet up with my... I prefer meeting people in person and talking to them in person than just texting them. I'm not a good... When it comes to texting, I'm not very good at it solely because of the fact that I prefer face-to-face communication over texting. Now, if I ever need to record a video, whenever I'm recording my videos that aren't at home, like my vlogs, unless they're me in it, I will more than likely use my phone. So, like, the only times I really use my laptop to record my videos of me in it is if I'm at home. Otherwise, I'll just use my phone. This isn't a good race for me. I'm struggling. I have no idea what to talk about. Yeah, whenever I'm in school, because I'm still technically a sophomore, I'm not taking 5 classes a semester. I'm just going at my own pace. So, whenever I am at school, I do use my laptop to take notes. And with my luck, with my degree, I will have to use it to edit videos together using Adobe Premiere Pro during the school year. So, like, if I'm ever in class, the assignment for that day is just to edit videos, I will. Or if you have to work on something in class and you have to submit it online, I will then use my laptop. So, this is one. I don't have no idea what to talk about. I'm sorry. I'm gonna continue to record, but I'm gonna let y'all listen to game volume. I do apologize, especially for my rambling like a madman. So yeah, here's the game volume.